Greetings, this is Walt Weir with Johnson County Community College, and I am going to be doing Lab 2 today, installing Windows. We go right to Lab Details, take Labs, and when we look at this, we have 120 minutes to finish this lab. So if you don't have 120 minutes, you may want to wait till you do. By the way, you can do these labs as many times as you like, especially if you're doing it for preparing for a test. Anyway, it goes through launching labs. It's clearing all the details of all the other labs before and giving you a fresh lab each and every time you log in. You don't have to worry about making mistakes. And why they're launching this, I'm going to pause it. I don't want to waste your time. After it goes through the launching period, we now have the lab here. As you can see in the middle, it has a virtual machine right here we logged into, and the actual lab instructions on your left. First thing it says is on London CL5, you should already be this Windows setup screen. So what we want to do is go up here to where it says London CL1 and drop down to London CL5. By the way, while this is looking up, you also have Control-Alt-Delete, the window key, and a couple other things. Now we want to, this is going to come up with a clean install. We want to hit Next, Install Now. Wait for the setup to start. The next thing we want to do is on the license plate, we want to click the OK button or Accept button and then Next. Click Accept. Next. Now the next one, it says click the custom install Windows only, Advanced. When you're prompted, we want to take Drive 0, Partition 2, which is already selected, hit Next, and all it says here is that you're going to erase everything in it. Now it's going to take a while to get past this step, so I'm going to pause it again, wait for this to finish. Now that we waited for it to go through the whole system, we're over here at step 7, use Express setting. It usually takes about 5 or 10 minutes to get through that section. Setting these up is a lot of this watching the circle go around. And although I do like that, watching the circle go around, it's better than having nothing there. It's still nice to go and do something while you're waiting for this to happen. So what it's going to say now is you want to put admin in the box. In the create account, you want to, which we're at now, create account. I always copy and paste because it's just easier to do that way. In the password, you want to put this in twice. Password. Now make sure you do it correctly, and that's why I do it this way, because I don't mistype it and lock myself out. But if you do, just log out, log back in, and you got the same thing. Hit Next. Now it's going to ask you 2 questions. Well, we have to hit Start in System, but it's going to go through this whole process of bringing you into the "We're happy to see you here." It usually takes a few minutes to do this, but it's going to ask you 2 questions. There's 2 things that it does, and basically you have print screen here or answer the questions. The way I do my labs is you log in to JCC Canvas, the homepage, and go to Canvas, and you have the lab question and answer. It has this right here on top, and then you would just answer these 2 questions for this section. You enter it in there, and you're done. Doing a Control-Alt screen doesn't tell me a whole lot. So the way I normally do this is if I'm on campus, I have two screens. I'll have this one up here and just look at it and then type the answers as I go. There's usually 5 or 6 questions to every one of these labs, sometimes 10. But it's not too unreasonable as you're doing the lab, just answer a few questions. And that's how I know you did it. I'm going to pause this for a minute while this gets done with this. Now that we're done with the login screens where it put all your settings in here. Basically every time you log in, it creates an account for you, and that's what it was doing. So here's what we're going to do now is go to Start and right click on it in the system. So you can do a left click. This is the left click. It looks like this. But if you do the right click, you can come over to this and do System, which brings you right here. I know a bunch of you have already seen this or worked with Windows 10 and you know a different way to get there. This is the way we're doing it in this lab. Then we want to answer these 2 questions again. Each one of those questions can be done by reading this page here. I don't tell you the answers, I just tell you where to find them. Here we want to go change settings. And then it says change. Now here they want you to change the name to London CL5. This is the domain name. You're going to be joining this to a domain, and you want it to have a unique name. No 2 computers can have the same names. And on the domain, you want to put this atrium down here in domain. Click OK. And of course, it's going to take a few minutes to come up there. You click the username, administrator. This is not the PC you're logging into. This is the domain controller, which we'll talk about in class a little bit. If not in this chapter, in a couple ones later. You want to paste those 2 in there, hit OK. It's going to take a few minutes for it to come up there because it's going out to the domain controller, verifying that you are an admin for that network, and it's going to reply back to you. If not, no regular user can actually come up with this. You actually have to be an admin for the network. I'm going to pause it while I'm waiting. After it replies back to you, you're going to get this welcome to the Atrium domain right here. Click OK. And of course it says you must restart this computer before it applies the change. We hit OK here. Now it says here to take a screenshot. I don't do screenshots. I can take a screenshot of this anywhere. But if you'd like to keep a screenshot, you can. Now it says restart now or restart later. We want to restart now. And it's going to go on to there. Now, this is one of the main mistakes most students think, that we're done, that's all you have to do. This is not the case. We have the next exercise here. So while this is doing this, I'm going to shut this video down. It's under 9 minutes. I like to keep my video short so you can do each one separately. So this is the last part of Lab 2, Section 1. And I will start Lab 2, Section 2